I'm getting real sick of people saying, oh, top 5 game and wow, you clickbait, like I didn't know the Mandalorian was gonna be a skin months before it released. Look at this video from 7 months ago. You say clickbait, I say I'm a magical wizard with a crystal ball. What's the difference? And so, with my new title of Head Clickbait Wizard, I announce it's time we look through the years of Fortnite videos and actually find like the craziest predictions that like came true. And we're gonna start off with Thanos, okay? Because all the way back in May of 2018, we got our first ever Fortnite crossover, Avengers x Fortnite. This literally broke the internet, and the fact that you can play as Thanos himself blew everyone's mind. It was like crazy. And with big events, as we all know, comes with a lot of clickbait, especially with just how popular this mode was. So immediately everyone took to YouTube to pretend that Thanos was gonna be a skin or was already out. You'd see like fake item shops, people pretending he was in their lockers, and this has been happening for the last 3 years. Just look at some of these thumbnails. Back then it was just passed off as clickbait, but it kind of seems like they were predicting the future at this point. Surprisingly, 3 years later, all of this clickbait has come true. Thanos is a real skin that you can buy in the item shop, and he even had his own tournament. It's crazy. Not as surprising though as when people predicted Dinosaurs. One of the most OG, like literally only original players remember this, has to be the Fortnite dinosaur clickbait. You think of clickbait, you think of like fake dino seasons and people pretending that T-Rexes were coming to Fortnite. It's been happening for as long as we can remember, and it all started with the events like the footprints in Chapter 1 or the plastic dinos at Paradise Palms. Most of the time, it was honestly just like really random. We usually get a lot of clickbait right before a new season pretending that it'll be like dinosaur themed or like prehistoric. It was ridiculous, but guess what? It's now real. As we all know, Epic actually added live raptors into Fortnite just last season. So yes, the clickbait turned out to be real. Except for the people saying you could ride them. That's not exactly true yet, but it's almost like I'm predicting we'll be able to ride them in the future. Hint. Something that did come entirely true though are drivable cars. Cars were not only the #1 most requested Fortnite feature of all time, they were also the most clickbaited. From day one, people were going to the prop cars around the map and clickbaiting it like you could actually enter them and drive around. And as we know, no, you can't do this. Or couldn't. Obviously. But that didn't stop it from being one of the biggest pieces of clickbait in Fortnite history because everyone wanted cars. I mean, some of these old clickbait videos even claim you could buy the cars in the item shop. Like, what? Well, it turns out eventually Epic did end up listening because they added cars in Season 3. And even when they added them, people still found ways to clickbait the cars because they had like turrets and spikes on the trucks or pretending you could drive like an ice cream van. It's actually pretty funny, but something that is probably the most popular clickbait Fortnite has ever seen are the Marvel superheroes. I mean, if I told you to imagine the first kind of clickbait that comes to your head, it's probably this. I'm talking fake Spider-Man skins, Iron Man armor, people pretending Wolverine and Deadpool were coming. I mean, over the years, the Marvel clickbait has been insane. It got so bad that people would pretend that Carbide was Iron Man, or they would say that you could get Thor's hammer in the game. And I'm starting to think that Jimothy is a time traveler. These were 3 years ago. Eventually, every single one of these guys came to the game. Well, you know, except Spider-Man. I mean, what's the holdup, Epic? Even when these skins came out, people moved on to other Marvel characters like Venom, and then he came out as well. It's crazy. But it wasn't as bad as Tilted getting destroyed. It's like the entire community saw this one coming. Back in 2018, YouTube and other websites were absolutely filled to the brim with videos claiming Tilted was gonna get destroyed. Most of them came with the rocket launch event where Epic baited us all into thinking it would strike Tilted. I mean, at this point, it was already the most popular POI by a long shot, so the idea of it blowing up, I mean, can you imagine that? Well, this obviously never happened at the time. If you flash forward just 1 year later in Season 8, Tilted Towers and Retail Row were actually completely destroyed by the eruption of the volcano, and that's when they got replaced with Neo Tilted in Season 9. Yep, they technically predicted it, and to this day, Tilted is still not completely back. Not yet, at least. But next up, we have Female Midas. So a few seasons ago, an artist made a concept for a female version of Midas, and it completely blew up. The community loved it, content creators took this opportunity and ran with it. There are videos all over of people claiming you could get a female Midas skin, and some even went as far to pretend it would have superpowers and like open portals and stuff. But what no one knew is that this concept would actually come out just months later. And of course, we now know her as Marigold, one of the coolest bundles we've gotten in a while. She wasn't the only skin to get absolutely blown up though. Obviously, we have to talk about Drake. Safe to say, Ninja playing with Drake was probably one of the most iconic things to happen to Fortnite in, like, its existence. And with the huge spike that came from their stream, it made a lot of clickbait. And honestly, of all the things in this video, a Drake skin hasn't actually come out yet. But the reason this partly came true is because of the Hotline Bling emote clickbait. I mean, there were more people claiming a Hotline Bling emote was coming than people saying Drake would get a skin, which was kind of weird. But if you skip to present day, Drake actually has an emote in the game. And we know it as the 2C slide emote. And sure, it's not Hotline Bling or a skin at all, but they were close enough. But the people who hit the nail on the head were the ones who clickbaited Baby Yoda. The Mandalorian pretty much took the entire world by storm when it first came out, and that caused a ton of people to speculate that Fortnite was gonna do a collab with them. And that's especially because we already had Star Wars events in the past with like lightsabers and more, but this caused so much clickbait with people claiming that Baby Yoda was gonna come to the game with the Mandalorian. How crazy, right? In fact, we even put a Baby Yoda back bling in our wishlist video just weeks before Season 5 dropped. The timing couldn't be better because Season 5 gave us exactly that. Probably the best example in this video of something that was clickbaited and actually came true just weeks apart. We didn't even have like a hint of it. Not as juicy as all the DC superheroes that got clickbaited though. Like if you thought Marvel clickbait was bad, the DC superhero clickbait is 10 times worse. Since the beginning, people have been making like fake thumbnails for skins like The Flash or Batman, Superman. Even skins like the Joker and Aquaman were clickbaited before they were released. And obviously now in Season 7, the most popular of all these superheroes, Superman, is about to release as this season's secret skin. And man, can I just say this has been a long time coming. Sure, all this clickbait about how to make custom DC skins or how to become Superman goes as far back as Chapter 1, but man, am I glad for it to finally be true. And speaking of Aquaman, do you guys remember when people were clickbaiting Atlantis? This is something on our list that is actually a cool comparison between old clickbait and the game today. Back in Season 3, when the island was completely flooded, we were introduced to Aquaman as the season's secret skin. And as we waited for Aquaman to release, leakers claimed that a new underwater POI was about to drop, and we all immediately thought, hey, has to be Atlantis, right? Well, the clickbaiters took that and ran with it. It was so many Atlantis videos going up. I mean, eventually it became obvious that it wasn't gonna be Atlantis, but instead, Coral Castle. Man, was that a disappointment. But hey, at least we got an Atlantis-style POI, even if it's like the Walmart version of Atlantis. And on that note, we have the ray gun. Over the years, there has been lots of clickbait about a possible ray gun in Fortnite. Now, there is no specific reason for this. Other clickbait has at least had something caused by it, but the ray gun has just been clickbaited that came out of like nowhere, really. And well, with the latest season, it's not fiction anymore. The Chimera ray gun was added, and it's literally a laser rifle. This thing just beams people, and it's sure not the literal ray gun from Call of Duty, but obviously, you know, that was never gonna come to Fortnite. But anyways, now we have to talk about how people predicted the volcano. With Chapter 1 having a ton of natural disasters, it made a lot of people clickbait some possible events. Some clickbaiters talked about a huge tornado, maybe a tsunami, but a lot more actually claimed a volcano was gonna erupt on the Fortnite island. And as you'll probably remember, that's exactly what happened in Season 8, and it blew up Tilted, so it was kind of like two clickbaits in one. Who could have guessed that this would have happened? And we can't move on without talking about all the people who predicted the Icon series. Since Fortnite was created, people have been making concepts for skins based on real people, especially celebrities and YouTubers. And one of the most popular was Ninja and a few other creators. After he blew up to be the most popular Fortnite creator on the planet, the community exploded with Ninja skin concepts, expecting him to be added eventually. And well, we all know it took a few years, but Epic actually added a Ninja skin into the game, officially creating the Icon series. Since then, it's made even more clickbait from people suggesting what the next Icon series could be. It's a disaster out here. But I think everyone freaked out when the Jetpack actually came to the game. I mean, we're throwing it back again. One of the most OG forms of clickbait was the Jetpack. I think every game in existence has had some form of like Jetpack clickbait, especially like GTA or COD. But with Fortnite, this one actually came true. It didn't take long either because Epic added an actual Jetpack into the game, and you can still get it to this day in like certain LTMs and live events. It's amazing. But for our final and probably the biggest form of clickbait that ever came out, and I still can't believe people actually predicted this one, the end event. During Season X, the island was extremely chaotic. There were map changes every single week. We just couldn't keep track of all the stuff that was going on. But there was one thought that every single person had in common, and it's that Season X would bring us a new map. I don't even know where this came from. Epic never said this. It was never leaked that we get a new map, but for some reason, before the end event, everyone secretly knew that it would happen. Clickbait was everywhere, theorizing what the new map could look like and how the Chapter 1 island will be destroyed. I mean, too crazy to believe, right? And of course, you know, it came true, okay? It's cool to look back on this and see everyone's predictions compared to what happened. To be honest with you, I don't even consider Fortnite like a clickbaited game anymore because everyone out here is just Megamind 900 IQ, the biggest brain of them all. With that said, guys, I gotta go recruit my army of wizards or clickbait wizards, circle of wizards. It's been Tommy, guys. I'll see you later.